All right, guys. So today I wanted to come on here and work through a couple exit tickets with you because there's a lot of misunderstanding. So I want to look at a couple things. We're going to start with lesson 6 exit ticket, graphs of linear functions and rate of change. So what's really important here is that you pay attention to the fact that it says linear. What does a linear function mean? It simply means there's a constant rate of change. Rate of change. So with that, we need to find the slope between each point here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to find between each point to see if there's a constant rate of change. So between these two here, we have, bear with me, guys. No, okay, maybe not. We have 35. Between these two, we have 5. Between these two, we have 21. Between these two, we have 3. Between these two, we have 23. And between these two, we have 3. So what we need to do now is we need to see if they all equal the same when you write them as a ratio. So 35 over 5 equals 7. 21 over 3 equals 7. And then 23 over 3 can't be simplified into a whole number. So looking at these right away, you know that they're not all the same. Yes, 7 and 7 are the same, but those are not the same as 23 over 3. So therefore, this is not a linear function because there is not a constant rate of change. So then when we look at this second one, we're going to do the same thing. It asks, is the function linear? Some of us just gave it's a function because inputs didn't repeat. Yes, you're correct. It is a function, but that does not make it a linear function. You've got to check the inputs and outputs. I mean, the constant rate of change, sorry. So when we're doing this, once again, we're going to find the change between each set of points. So here it's -5. Here it is 10. Here it is -1. Here it is 2. Here it is -5. And here it's 10. So when we compare them, you have to have -5 over 10, which reduces to -1/2. Then you have -1/2. That can't be simplified. And then -5 over 10, which reduces to -1/2 also. So all of these are the same. You see, this is the same as this and as this. So therefore, since all of them are the same now, we can say this function is a linear function. Since there is a constant rate of change, you can throw in right here -1/2 between each set of points. So since it is now linear, we've established that it is linear. So now you could, now we can write in a linear equation that describes the function. So this -1/2 is going to be our m. So we know m is going to equal -1/2. And we need to find what b is. Okay, to do that, you are going to plug in one of the points from the table. So we have our equation y equals mx plus b. Let's pick I'm going to pick the very first one, negative 2, 3. The y would be 3. M is negative 1/2. X is negative 2. And then plus b, because we got to find that to be able to write our equation. So 3 equals negative 1/2 times negative 2 gives us 1. And then we're just going to bring down the plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides, and you get 2 equals b. So now you can write your equation, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. If you have any questions on that, please make sure you're emailing me and asking. All right, so we know that our equation is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. So C says, what will the graph of the function look like? Well, we know it's linear, so that means it's going to be a line. This graph will form a line with a y-intercept of 2 and a slope of negative 1/2. Oh, try that again. This graph will form a straight line with a y-intercept of 2 and a slope of negative 1/2. All right, so if you have any questions on any of this, please make sure that you email me asking your questions and getting clarification before you start your test or your quiz. I'm sorry, your quiz today.